Pam Conquest and Phil Biha were set to get married in 2022 and were expecting the birth of their first child, Noah, on November 24th, 2021. Complications in her pregnancy led to the unexpected passing of Noah in her 38th week of gestation. Devastated by the loss of his stillborn son, Phil vowed to never again take life for granted and registered for his first triathlon. Warning: some scenes may be triggering to some people, but their hope is to bring together grief and joy and help others in a similar situation. This is their story.
I used to be in the military in Petawawa, and that's where I met my wife, who was studying at the time, and she got a job here, and I decided that I left the Army and decided to join my wife and move to Ottawa. I think it's been 10 to 11 years, and her name is Pam. And yeah, we just got married, and it's been great.
How Phil and I met, I was in nursing school, and he was in the Army. And every Thursday, we went to this club. And I was playing very hard to get. And every Thursday, we would dance together, and he would ask for my name. And I wouldn't give him my name, because it's so small. It was in Pembroke, and I didn't want him to know my name. So every Thursday he would come back and I would tell him a different name, and he would go and say, oh, he would say the name from last week, and I would say, oh, no, that's not my name, something else. So this went on, I think, for about 2 months, and then one of my friends went and then said that I had to leave, so then she ended up saying my name, and he's like, oh, your name is Pam. So that's how we started. At first I went and I was like, oh, he's a nice guy, he's a friend. And then I was like, no, actually, I think I like him. So he definitely went through hoops and everything for me. He left the Army for me. He changed all his career for me.
I was in the Army for about 4 years. Like I said, I was very disciplined, and you worked out a lot. Some aspect, just like any other job, you had some good things and some bad things. Sometimes you would go for training 4 months at a time, and that would put, in my opinion, stress on your relationships. And I really loved Pam, and I didn't want to put her through all of that, and I made the executive decision to move on from the Army.
So Phil being very over the top with everything he does in life, I was going to see a movie with my sister, and my sister said, okay, let's go and get some popcorn. I said, oh, no, I can't get popcorn. I'm hoping that Phil will propose to me soon. I'm not really sure when. And I said, I'm not gonna have popcorn. So we go into the movie theater, and Phil kind of hinted, he's like, you have to be ready at any moment. It's happening soon. So I completely ignored him with that, and I had completely my hair all over the place, had no makeup on, just looked like anything. And I was sitting in the movie theater, and I looked on the big screen, and I was looking at my sister. I said, my gosh, that girl really looks like me. My sister's looking at me like, yeah, it's you. So he went and he did a video, and it was the most thoughtful thing. He had my dad be in the video with him, so I saw him asking my dad to get married to me, and it was so beautiful just to have that in a video, and to actually see the process of him asking my dad, them going out to eat, and him picking the ring, and then seeing all the employees. So it's nice to go back there, and now I see the employees that helped him pick out the ring. So yeah, I went and I watched the whole video, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I was still in so much shock. And then he came up, and of course, I should have thought the whole movie theater was completely empty. It was only my sister and I. So he came up, and then he asked me, and the rest is history now. When he loves someone, he will do absolutely anything that he can to get them and to love them and to show them how much they love him. Phil has the biggest and greatest heart possible, and I love him. And I told him the other night, I'm like, I don't understand, but I love you even more and more every day. We've been together for 11 years now, so we've gone through like a lot of stuff. Throughout our whole thing, I moved back here and he was still in the army, so we were doing like long distance, and then he moved to Ottawa, and it's been a real roller coaster, but he has been there for me every step of the way. I think it's been 8 years ago I got diagnosed with MS, and the first thing that I thought of was that I needed to end my relationship with him because I didn't want to be a burden on him, and that was my fear. I didn't even care about the MS. I was thinking of just about him, and it broke my heart that I was like, oh my God, I have to leave him. And I told him, and he's like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm staying with you. So that was like the first huge thing that we went through. And since then, I knew that he wasn't going to leave me because I was at my worst then. Our relationship has actually, and like so thankfully, gotten so much better and stronger because of it. And I'm very thankful because some people, it breaks them, but it really, really brought us together. Noah's death really stripped us full of everything. So we really saw each other for who we are, and to be accepting for who we are in the inside, outside, and that's it.
Unfortunately, at around 38 weeks, my wife went to an ultrasound. I was at work that day, and she texted me saying the baby, Noah, his name was Noah, was gone. And I had to quickly leave work and go to the hospital and see her and deal with grief and all the paperwork and just being there for her. A lot of people may not know what a stillbirth is, but even though the baby is dead, the woman still has to deliver the baby, which is really hard, I think, because you get to hold him, you get to see him. It was a very difficult time. A lot of people helped us through this journey, and I believe it made us stronger as a couple, in our relationship mentally. The way we communicated with each other became a lot better, in my opinion.
Even though the hard days were absolutely just horrible, I knew that he was there for me and I was there for him 100% of the time. So to have those bad days, it almost made us take our whole foundation and then take it all down, and then we're building from like rock bottom. And because we got to rock bottom, our foundation is so much stronger now. When Noah died November 14th, 2021. In January, I was thinking, we need to have this wedding. I was done waiting for this wedding. I wanted to get married. I didn't want to have this, we were planning everything around this wedding, and I said, I don't want to have this timeline of this wedding anymore. So there was no ands, ifs, or but. I said, we're doing this wedding no matter what. It's been quite a journey through our wedding and our children. So with Noah, we are always calculating, okay, if we got pregnant at this time, how old will Noah be at our wedding? So Noah would have been 7 months at our wedding. So we said, okay, well, that's good. The 7 months is pretty good for a baby for a wedding, so that should be fine. So yeah, that's how we decided, and we're not giving up.
During her pregnancy, I couldn't go to her ultrasound. However, we went to UC Baby and we saw the ultrasound. And what they did was that they recorded his heartbeat. And then they gave it to us. So before Pam came down the aisle, we told everyone, this is Noah's heartbeat. And everyone heard the heartbeat, and everyone was very emotional.
We will hear a 20-second audio clip of Noah's heartbeat from one of his ultrasounds.
I have even this necklace right here. It's Noah, and it's his ashes in here. And so I always keep him close to me, and we always try to include him in our wedding, in other events. So we try to keep his memory alive, and he's definitely a part of us. We had a memory table for people that were not there, and Noah was at the memory table. My dad was at the memory table, among other things. And we had glow sticks as well, star glow sticks, to represent the people that were not there.
When I found out about that I could be my own best friend, that I could give myself compassion, that I could just love myself, that's when everything changed. And that's how I saw my wedding in a different way. And that I knew that I was going to be able to walk down that aisle and be able to be actually happy. Throughout that journey, though, it wasn't a perfect, linear journey. It was full of ups and downs, just like how life is. There were definitely lots of tears, but then lots of joy and happiness.
It can be very difficult, but I think he's looking over down us, and he saw our wedding. He saw that we included him in the wedding, and I think that he appreciates it.
My family has been very, very great with trying to intertwine grief and joy together. So they did a bridal shower and included Noah in it. My bachelorette included Noah in it. It was beautiful, and it was nothing, like I couldn't even have imagined, it was the most magical day, and it was so beautiful that we had Noah right at the center.
I'm not a runner, I'm not a swimmer, and I'm definitely not a biker. I just wanted to challenge myself in things that I wasn't good at. First of all, I don't know how to bike, and I read this book, Dave Goggins, Can't Hurt Me, and he always states to challenge yourself and to face your fears. And one of my fears was biking, really. And I always see kids riding around, and it makes me feel like I'm not a man, or, like I'm missing that aspect. So I decided that I'm gonna do a triathlon. That way I'll have to learn how to bike no matter what.
His training, he has always been a person that is highly, highly motivated. Everyone in our life and in his life would call him a coach. No matter what, he will do anything and everything to the most extreme, and I'm so proud of him.
I feel like a lot of people care about what others think of them. And so I also had that, I cared that people would see me on a bike, right, trying to ride a bike, and people might make fun of me. And so that was one of the fears, right? But I had to face it and not to think of what others may think, but what I want for myself and for what my goals that I want to accomplish. Yeah, I definitely got better. I got a lot to learn, but with anything in life, you just got to practice it, fall, and get back up.
It really started with the loss of his father, and just recently the loss of his son, Noah. It's taught him and it's taught me that life is very, very precious. And if he wants to, if he has a dream, he can get that dream. And he will do anything and everything possible to get to that dream and achieve it.
About 2 or 3 years ago, I had signed up for this same triathlon. However, my dad died and I wasn't able to go to the race. I had to go to Africa where he was, go see him and bring his body back to Canada to have a proper burial. My dad had a job where he traveled a lot. He was in the forest industry, so I lived in the States, I lived in Africa, I lived everywhere. When I was younger, he taught me how to play baseball, so that was I had a lot of good time with him playing baseball, and he was part of a team, and he would come to the games and throw the ball with me, so baseball was a very good memory of him.
So with the triathlon, I think he's trying to tell people that no matter what you've gone through in life, no matter if you're a complete pro at biking or if you're just learned to ride a bike like 2 weeks ago, like you can do whatever you put your mind to. And no matter what, he's going to get through life, no matter what triggers he has, he's going to come out of it and he's going to go through it, and he will have Noah in his heart and he will shine. Like he will shine bright no matter what, no matter how much darkness he's been in, he will always be at the light at the end of the tunnel.
Pam has been training me, helping me out a lot in different aspects. Especially she's doing a class about different things, but it's mostly to do with your mental fortitude. And she has given me some insight into her class, and I try to bring that insight into my training and into my life. Also, like she helps me when I work, she helps prep my meals so that I don't have to, after a long shift, come home and make my meals. And she's been, she comes to me, she comes sometimes, watches me swim, and that's really all I need for her to support me.
Last year in Tremblant, he did a race and he hardly trained for it, and he passed the finish line and was like hardly sweating, and I was like, how do you do that? So he is like he's a natural athlete. So I think he's going to do absolutely amazing.
I believe if you want to be successful in your goals, you have to surround yourself with people that have the same or similar goals as you. So like I said, I contacted a swim coach who's been helping me with swimming, and I contacted bike trainers who helped me learn how to bike as an adult and face my fears.
I'm inspired by him, and it is just, I can't even, like, I'm so proud of the person he is and his heart, and like it just says like so much about him that like he's never rode a bike before and now he's doing a triathlon. Like, who does that? One of his favorite people is Dave Goggins, and I could say, I'm like, you guys could be brothers. Like I literally see Dave Goggins in him, but I'm like, but you're not Dave Goggins, you're like Phil Biha. You inspire people.
She'll be cheering me on. I'm not sure where she will be, but you know, she'll be there for sure.
Like, I'm just so proud of him, and I know Noah's so proud of him, and like his dad's so proud of him, and we're all so proud of him. Yeah, I can't even, like, I can't say anything else. I'm just so proud.
In some capacity, I think he will be there. I think he's around me all the time, and yeah, I'm sure he'll be there. So I do think of him a lot to get me through hard times, hard workouts, hard work days, everything really. It drives me to push forward and continue on. I'm sure he was struggling, and knowing that he was struggling so much, what's one more rep, one more lap, what's learning to bike? It's nothing compared to what he had to endure.
The fast life, the fast living. They see the ambition, they know I'm past driven. Look, we are not the same, this is not a game. I be swerving through the city in and out of lanes. Yeah, cause if I see it, then I want it, then you better know I got it. Ain't no options, I'm about to do the damn thing. I'm an outlaw, you can never catch me. I'm in first place, you can never.
The loss of Noah has changed Phil and I's life completely. Which, of course, it would to anyone, really. The day that Noah was born, a part of Phil and I died as well. But at the exactly same time, we were almost born again.
It was very, very hard, and I feel like whenever people have hard things, they turn to things that may not actually help them. So food would be one, maybe drugs or alcohol. And for us, it was definitely food. And we gained quite a few pounds throughout the whole process. And we were very obviously depressed.
I literally gave birth to death. So to see life with a completely new lens of, we have to appreciate every second that we have on this earth, that we're able to breathe, because my son wasn't able to breathe. He wasn't able to do anything. So to have a whole new meaning of life of, we're here and now we have a new purpose, and to live life completely full of gratitude and full of power, and what are we going to do with this life? Because it has to have meaning.
We decided to stop working and to get away from work and just stay at home. And we felt like no one, we felt like no one can understand, you know, and things people were saying to us were some of them were damaging, and we know that they had the best interest at heart, but some of the things they said was very damaging. But so we felt alone.
At the start, I tried to take everyone out, try to take out all the triggers. And Phil and I basically didn't talk to anyone for 5 months. We talked to just our immediate family, and that was it. But then I realized, because we had a wedding, we had a timeline, and we had to see all these people. And we had a lot of, like, in our wedding party, we had a lot of babies. And we were actually all pregnant within a month or 5 months between each other. So we did have a lot of triggers that we had to face.
Our neighbor was pregnant, her brother's wife was pregnant, and when ours didn't make it, every time we see them, it's very hard. It's like, this is what our life could be.
Well, that's the thing, it's like a whole future of losses. Like, sometimes I go and I look, a couple of months ago, I went and I looked at, just a little boy, and he was trying to tie his shoes. And then I'm thinking, I'll never be able to tie shoes with Noah or to teach him or anything. So it is a whole lifetime of possibilities. It wasn't a life that I was expecting, which no parent would ever expect to have this. But we try to make it as his life to have meaning. And I think what we're doing and how we're living every day now, we are trying to live his legacy.
I feel like you have some days that are good and some days that are bad. It is not a linear path. It is a real roller coaster, and sometimes things can trigger you. Different babies. When I go swimming, sometimes there's kids in the pool, and that may trigger me. And if things trigger you, I think that's normal. And but yeah, it is not a linear road. Like I said, it is a real roller coaster, but it's okay. And you just have to keep on fighting and making sure that you work on your mental aspect as well, not only emotionally, not only physically, but your mental aspect is very, very important. And I think that especially a lot of but what society wants of males to be strong, to be not emotional, is not a good thing. And I think more males should get in touch with their emotions and their mental aspect through counseling, through other means. But I think that we need to change the society about males being so strong and not having any emotions.
We were so grateful to be able to be to get counseling from Roger Nielsen House, and to go through counseling with him. It brought us together and made us see each other in ways that we didn't see each other before. That we saw, just Noah's death really stripped us full of everything. So we really saw each other for who we are, and to be accepting for who we are in the inside, outside, and that's it.
We had some time to think, and we decided that we would do counseling. And one of the counseling was Roger Nielsen. If you don't know them, they deal with infant loss, and they were a great help for us. And to this day, we met a few couples who went through similar situations, and they have helped us tremendously with Noah's loss.
What I did and what I learned from my life coach is that we have to deal with the triggers. We can't hide away from it, because the moment that you hide away from it, your anxiety gets even worse. So I went on social media, I went through and I went and looked at all the babies, and I started to envision myself that one day I'm going to have a living baby. So I looked at these triggers. I tried to look at them not as triggers anymore, as I looked at them as my future and what I hope to one day have. So I just tried to change my mindset on the triggers. But that doesn't mean that they still don't hurt. And the difference, Phil and I are going through this together, but we are still on separate paths. So there are some triggers that affect him, but then they don't affect me.
You know, for the longest time in my car, I have a baby seat, and you know, throughout my time, I kept looking back, and you see a baby seat and it's empty. It took me a while just to touch it, you know. It's not really my choice in a way. It's just hard to even touch or look at, and so yeah, it's not like it's not like I can move it very easily. It took me some time to, let's say, to put the car seat back in the basement.
So a lot with Noah's room, I go in there almost every day, and I looked at Noah's room as at the start, I was just so sad to be in there, but then I said, I want this room to be a source of hope and for a source of healing and a source of love. And I go in that room every day and I just feel love, and I feel so connected to him, and that I hope and wish one day that he will be able to share a room with one of his other siblings.
Or, you know, going into Noah's room is another image of what could have been, and it's an empty room. And to go into Noah's room and just feel okay, and sometimes even it's very hard to go to his room and, you know, sit down and think of him. You know, I can't lie, sometimes it's very hard, but hopefully it gets less hard. Like, it's not a sprint, it's kind of a marathon, so I'm taking it day by day, and I'm slowly going further into the basement where all the toys are and so on. So I think it's taking small steps, but continuing to make small steps throughout your time. And you know, and sometimes you might take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, and that's okay, but just continue to try to go forward. My message to other fathers and even mothers is that we think we have so much time, and you know, in the blink of an eye, that time is gone and you cannot never get it back. So I think you should cherish every moment you have with your son, your daughter, your kids in general, and to tell them that you love them and you want the best for them. And you will try your best to help them out in any way you can.
What I would tell other parents that have suffered a loss, I have 3 things to tell them. So, and it's from 3 different people. So one is from Roger Nielsen House, and it's from our palliative care social worker, Carol. And she taught me at the worst time in the thick of grief, that grief is not linear. And she gave me, she showed, we were doing a Zoom call, and she put out her pen and she went and said, grief does not look straight. It doesn't look like a straight line. And that grief is like a roller coaster, and it's messy. And that even though you have bad days, it doesn't mean that they're all going to be bad. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but with time there's going to be more good days than bad. And that grief will always be with you. Grief is love, and you will grow around grief. The second thing that I want to tell parents is that to be your own best friend and be aware of your thoughts, be aware of what you're telling yourself. And when you are aware of telling yourself bad things and mean things about yourself, try to stop yourself and talk to yourself more compassionately and be your own best friend. Tell stuff say things to yourself that you would tell your loved ones, that you would tell your mother, you would tell your dad, your sister, your best friend. And just be compassionate, because at the end of the day, you only have yourself. You only have yourself, and you deserve the world, and you deserve all the love. So please love yourself. Third is from Mel Robbins. And I started doing this about, I would say 2 months ago. And every day when you wake up, because you will wake up, and you will get up, and it doesn't matter if you just wear your pajamas for a week or 2, and you go to the washroom, go into the mirror, and put your hands up, and give yourself a high five in the mirror, and look at yourself in the eyes, and tell yourself you are going to get through this, because you will, and you are going to do amazing things. And that's it.
I think that if you can find some counseling that is specific to stillbirth, I think you should do it. I think you should do group counseling, those 2 things. And having, even in relationship, just communicating very well your emotions towards one another, how you feel, and especially as a male, maybe try to find some way to show your emotions and how you feel. And also to say that when you go through something like this, a lot of people concentrate mostly on the woman aspect because she carried the child, she delivered the child, but I think it's also important to remember that there are 2 parties in this situation, and the male are often forgotten, and I'm here to tell you that you should not forget about the male. They're going through some stuff as well. So you have to try to realize that. You have to be careful also with what you tell them, and or what you tell others.
Men don't really talk about their emotions. and it is a huge, like it is a society problem. I don't know how to kind of put it, but he is very, very passionate about it, and I hope to one day, you know, even doing this video, that it will help others and it will help boys, men, grandfathers be able to put down their shield and be able to say, you know what, like, let's talk and let's, you know, talk about our emotions, because guys or men feel like, you know, they always have to be the, you know, the one taking care of the woman. But women, we can handle it. We can handle a lot. But we have to also realize that men need support too, and we're both equal. We're all humans. So, you know, it doesn't mean that because you're a guy that you won't have feelings, you don't have your bad days, you don't have your good days. We're all going through emotions, and it's okay to not be okay.
And, you know, I try to keep his memory alive and try to think of the good times we had and things. And his reveal was a great day with everyone had fun. So I try to think of the good times we had. Sometimes the bad times comes to my mind, but, you know, I try to, you know, think of the good times as well.
I almost felt like I was living life with like sunglasses on, and now I see life for what it is, and that I see that throughout this whole journey, at the start, November 14th, my life was in black and white for a long time. And then with time, you know, I started seeing colors. I started seeing the beauty in plants, in life, in everything. So to have a whole new meaning in life, and now I want deeper connections with people. And I feel with palliative care, I can have and I can give the deeper connections to not only the team, but also to my patients and their families, that in a way, not in the exactly same way, I know exactly what they're going through and the pain that they're feeling. So to give that, and for them to feel the love and the compassion that I will give to my future patients and to give to my team, I think it will be very valuable, and I think it will be very healing, not only for me, but also for my patients and everyone around me.
I think that I'll be proud of myself. I'll be proud of what I have accomplished, and throughout, because a lot of times in life when you go through a lot of stuff, you could go totally the other way. And I believe that me and my wife, Pam, really took the time to stop working, getting better mentally first, and then further on physically. And I'll just be proud of myself, and I hope that, you know, that Noah's looking and my dad's looking at me, looking at throughout our own circumstances, that we still pull through and drive forward.
So what the type of father Phil is he does everything with his full heart. And I'm so proud of how he's doing everything, not only for himself, but for Noah in front. And I see his heart, and I see how much he wants to change in life, that he's not. Now, Phil and I are both at a stage in our life that, with all the experiences that we have gone through, that we're not just kind of coasting through life, that we're trying to make change. And I see that in Phil as a father right now, that he's trying to make change for our future children, for, you know, our future nieces, our nephew. We're trying to make a better future for everyone, and hopefully we can.
I think I would say that I loved him, and I will keep loving him, and I will keep loving his mom and cherish her every day, and I will never forget him, and I will try to be a better person and to be kind to others, and yeah, that's it.
The goal is to have fun and just to finish and, you know, look back and see where I started from not knowing how to bike, and, you know, thinking of Noah as well. And just to have fun, really.
So this is his first time doing a triathlon. He learned how to ride a bike not too long ago, so this is going to be a really, really fun race for him. I'm very excited, but a little nervous, of course, but I know he's going to do absolutely amazing, like he always does. He's a natural athlete, so I know he's going to come out. He's a winner no matter what. So I love him, and I'm so proud of him.
I feel very nervous. Like, I'm thinking, like, what if I get a flat? Like, I had a splinter this morning. I couldn't sleep, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. Just need to relax, really.
Remember why you're doing this, right?
Yeah. Just relax and stay calm. Think of Noah. Think of everything, and I'll be good, you know?
Noah, I just finished a race. You were one of my greatest support, so I appreciate you and I will always remember you.
Noah, I know you're always here with us in our hearts, and you were guiding your daddy and me throughout the whole race, and I know that you were there at the finish line, watching down on
For
us.
better or worse,
Yeah.
you know, we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
There you go.
This book is for Noah. Your spark shines bright. You are loved.
Inside your heart, there is a spark. It shines bright and true. It's what makes you, you.
God gave you your very own spark. No one else in the whole wide world has a spark like yours. Your spark makes you shimmer. Your spark makes you shine.
Your spark makes you brave, gentle, kind, loud, quiet, original, playful, bold, creative, wise, smart, and clever.
Your spark makes your eyes twinkle and your mouth smile. It makes your feet stomp and your voice loud.
It makes you excited and curious to learn new things, like biking.
It lights you up from inside and fills you with wonder and dreams.
Your spark shines so bright, it's like your own
North Star,
star.
guiding you on your journey.
Follow your spark.
It lights up your way to show you the path as you explore this great, big, beautiful world.
If you ever get sad or feel lost and alone, just take a deep breath and remember your spark. Look for a tiny ray of light shining in the darkness.
The spark in your heart is always with you. Your glow from within will break up the darkness and light up the sky. That's because your spark is the brightest and truest part of you.
You shine your spark and I'll shine mine too. Together we will fill the world with bright, beautiful light.
Look to your spark, you're an amazing creation, and you'll go places beyond your wildest imagination.
And that's it. There we go.
So this book is just almost a reminder to both of us that we have a spark within us, that we always have to shine bright. The light will
Always shine.